It survived one event flawlessly despite being T-boned by a Dodge Durango. In 2014, I was looking for a car to get back into doing amateur motorsports with. We have some short tracks down by where I live that do enduros and flagpole races and boat trailer races. It's called Crashorama. It's put on by the Knights of Destruction at Orlando Speed World down in Bithlo, Florida. And it's 5-6 hour ordeal with a demo derby, a flagpole race, a boat trailer race. There's a reverse race. There's races where two cars are chained together. The highlight of the night is the figure 8 school bus race, which is the most terrifying thing ever for a driver. They normally bring out monster trucks and jet cars, and it's a really good old-fashioned Southern time. There are guidelines of how you're to build the car. You have to put some sort of reinforcement on the driver's door. Driver's door has to be white. You're supposed to wear at least a fire jacket and a helmet. But there are guys out there that just throw on a long sleeve t-shirt and a pair of jeans and an enduro motorcycle helmet and jump in the car. I wanted something that I could do an enduro with, but also strong enough to pull something behind it. Talking to a couple friends, friend of a friend of a friend had a SN95 Mustang V6 5-speed. And I've always thought V6 5-speed live rear axle, it's just like a pickup truck. We got to talking and he said, yeah, $200, car's yours. My son had it. He ran it up onto like a little culvert, bent the bottom of the radiator support, bent the bottom of the K-member. So it's not really something that you would put on the road. Perfect to destroy. He goes, there's only one catch. It's down in Tampa at my ex-wife's house. I can't go get it. In the divorce, she took out a restraining order against me. We don't talk. So you have to go get it on your own. I gave him $200. He hands me the title. He hands me the key. He hands me a key to her Jeep Liberty to leave that there. So I take my Tacoma, go and get a trailer, and I haul down to Tampa to get this car. So I circle the block once and see, okay, the car's sitting in the driveway, the Liberty's right in front of it. So this is why he gave me the key for the Liberty. I pull next block over, stop, put the ramps down on the trailer, set the parking brake in the truck, the 4-ways. I walk the next block, jump in the Liberty, fire it up, back it up, move it over. I go to get in the Mustang, turn the key, and it's just clicking. So my jumper cables are back in my truck. I instinctively walk over to the back of the Liberty, pop it open, sitting right on top of piles of garbage is the end of a set of jumper cables. I jump the Mustang off the Liberty. While it's sitting there running, I literally just closed the hood of the Liberty, shut it off, left it in the driveway, hauled out of the driveway, went over the next block, right up onto the trailer. Throw the ramps in the trailer, didn't even strap the car down. Left it in gear with the parking brake set, jump in the truck. I head a mile or two down the road, get to a Buffalo Wild Wings parking lot, jump out, strap the car down. I had brought a car cover with me. Throw the car cover on, and the hood latch was broken from the accident. So I throw the car cover on it, and then I run a ratchet strap over the front of the car to hold the hood down, and just haul back home. The whole time just staring in the mirror, waiting to see what's going on. Everything's legit on my end. I've got the title, I've got the key, I've got the owner's permission. I just didn't have permission to be on that property. So get back home, and I let the car sit in my backyard for 2-3 weeks to see if anything was going to happen. Because at this point, if something were to happen, I was just going to drive it down onto the side of the turnpike, drop it off, and walk away from it. And just chalk that $200 up to lesson learned. Nothing happens. Talk to the guy a couple times. He thanks me for getting the car, says his ex-wife is irate because the car's not there anymore. So commence to stripping the car, pull the interior out of it, pull the glass out of it, weld the rear end in it. It was red, painted it lime green and purple, put a police light bar on the roof, and at the time I was working with the local chapter of the Shriners to bring awareness and to bring donation into their charity. And they're great people. It's a great organization. And when I got to the event, they gave me all their stickers to throw on the car. So we go out, we run the enduro with the car. The car performs flawlessly. In the flagpole race, which is exactly what you would imagine, you're going around an oval course, but in every straightaway there's a flagpole that you have to go around. And the word flagpole is used very loosely. 90% of the time it's a car or a boat or something large placed out there so that you're not making a very tight corner. In the flagpole race, I hit another car and knocked the radiator out of the Mustang. Pulled in, steam everywhere. I'm looking at it and going, all right, so this is just going to burn to the ground on the next race. So we attached my trailer to the back of the car for the boat trailer race. The trailer that I had was an old porta potty on a pallet with an inflatable lady of the evening hanging out of the back of it. Halfway through the race, the wheels on the pallet gave way. So the porta potty just leaned right up against the back window of the Mustang. And it only lasted about 7 laps on this little 3/8 mile track before the temperature pegged and the car started sputtering. And coming out of turn number 2 down the backstretch, puff of smoke, engine dies. So I just pull over. As the cars are just going by me, I'm just getting hit with shrapnel coming off of the trailers that are still going around. End of the race, I'm sitting there and, this is the last event of the evening, so I can either get out of the car and walk across the track, or so let me just see if it'll fire up. So I push the clutch in, car starts right back up. I drive it right back around into the pits, and as soon as I get to our paddock space, fuel line pops off. So there's a little bit of fire everywhere. But thankfully, it only had maybe half a gallon of gas in it at the time. And, we shut everything off real quick. We put it out and then just proceeded to pull all of the strobe lights and the aftermarket battery relocation kit that we put in the car out. And there's a team of guys that come in and just buy the cars for scrap when it's all said and done. So this $200 Mustang wound up netting me $350 in scrap. So factor everything out, I made $22 on the car. After that, I did do another one. I did it properly. I purchased a 94 Grand Marquis. That I got from an estate sale. Legitimate, one owner, 70,000 mile Grand Marquis. And same treatment, stripped that. We painted it beige, set it up like a cop car. That actually performed amazing in the enduros and in the flagpole races and boat trailer races. It survived one event flawlessly despite being T-boned by a Dodge Durango, which, yes, hurt the next day. Brought the car home and after that event, and because that would have been April of 15, and then in November of 15 would have been the next event. Car sat in my backyard, dropped the battery back in it, and it fired right up, brought it back around, pressure washed it, painted it again, and took it back out, and then wound up getting hit on the driver's side this time by a Ford Taurus. And it broke the rear suspension mounts and shoved the transmission, or the drive shaft, into the transmission, into the engine, into the radiator. So the car was just dead at that point.